Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to this evening's Break in the Clouds. With me, of course, is the wonderful and delightful Penny Kelly. You can find her at pennykelly.com and also here on Patreon, patreon.com/Penny Kelly. Penny, welcome
Yeah.
back to the show. How are you?
Oh my, I'm good. A little sunburnt, a little sore from working in the garden, but otherwise fine.
Very good, very good. Happy to hear that. Of course, please join us in welcoming Julie to the show as well. You can find her on maisonjupiter.com on the web and also here on YouTube at Maison Jupiter. Julie, welcome back to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Hi, Penny. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Hi.
Hello, JC.
Hello, hello. Julia and I did a show earlier this afternoon. So, guys, if you haven't seen it, it's the War Correspondent Show at 4 p.m. on the
Ooh.
Rumble Show. You don't want to miss that if you haven't seen it. We talked about these star forts that are coming back into our field of consciousness and perhaps what they were previously used for and what they might be used for in the future. So go check out that episode, guys. If you haven't seen it, you're looking for this poster here. Yes, it was the June 22nd, 4 p.m. Eastern War Correspondent Report. Before I start tonight, we had a bit of a technical issue. We usually triple cast these episodes between Julie's channel, Penny's channel, and our channel. For some reason tonight, it's not working on Penny's channel. So we decided to go live anyways here tonight. I will send the file after the show to Penny, and then she will be able to re-upload it to her YouTube channel for her audience there. And hopefully by the time we get back to doing another Breaking the Clouds episode, we'll have that little snafu fixed up and we'll be able to triple cast once again. So thank you everyone for joining us here tonight on this live interactive show. I'll bring your comments and questions as we go along during the show, and please put them in high caps if there are questions for Julie or Penny. But Penny, before we entertain some of the crazy things that are happening right now in the news today, including the submarine, including the Biden troubles, if you want to talk about that, and the Durham report. What did you have for this month for us in terms of the last look-sees? Perhaps you can do a quick overview of that. Again, watching the language because we are still on YouTube here, and we'll do our best to navigate all of the rules here and be compliant and docile here on YouTube. Penny, what's going on?
I think probably one of the big things that I wanted to talk about was messages coming to us. In the look-see, I talked about a message that Jay Snip and Woo Woo Dude got when they got that dream about the bear coming in with the F-16s in its mouth. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit again. We're at a critical point in time. One of the things that keeps coming back, and this goes back to April, is a picture or vision I saw about Trump. So I want to cover that. That keeps returning. It's like, okay, there's a message there. And then I just want to mention the I95 collapse in Philadelphia. Something doesn't feel right about that, even though they're fixing it, thank God. And then a little bit about ETs and UFO stuff. So
just a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot right there, Penny. Where do you want to start? You want to start on the bear and the F-18s and see how that ties into perhaps what we're seeing now? Okay.
Yeah. So in this look-see, I had watched a video that Jay Snip and Woo Woo Dude did. And in it, they talked about, I think it was Woo Woo Dude had a dream. And he said, watching these two gentlemen with these really well-dressed suits on and big top hats, and they were playing chess on this table, and a bear came in and disrupted the table. And there was a piece in there I didn't get. So they might not have said the whole dream, but then the bear came back and it was huge. It was like 3 or 4 times bigger than a normal bear. And it had these F-16 planes in its mouth, and it just smashed everything. And I was really disturbed by the comments that were coming in. People were so negative, and I can kind of understand that. There's a lot of trolls out there and people get discouraged and they don't want to hear doom and gloom and, all that stuff. But we need to look and listen and take to heart those messages that we are being given. They come through dreams. They come through small visions. They come through these miscellaneous thoughts that happens when you're weeding the garden or vacuuming the floor or brushing your teeth, and it's a kind of a mindless job kind of thing. Those are messages that come when your consciousness is free and open. And it is free and open pretty much when you're dreaming, when you're asleep. And so the overall message there is that we've given serious tools to fight war to Ukraine, and the laws of war, there are rules that govern war, and so the laws say if you give my enemy some sort of weapon, you become my enemy. And we have now given all kinds of stuff to Ukraine, so that makes us a target. And that's the F-16, the bear. That's Russia. That's the national symbol of Russia, is the bear. And the fact that that bear came in, it was 5 times bigger or 3 times bigger, whatever it was, and smashed that table. That's a big warning. And chess is a game of strategy and planning. And the 2 fine gentlemen, that were playing chess. That's how's Uncle Sam always portrayed. These 2 gentlemen were wearing a suit and these big, tall top hats. Well, there's Uncle Sam right there, and his compatriots. Just today, England. I was watching a thing just of he's a king now, Charles, coming into this some sort of party with a top hat on, and immediately I was reminded of that dream and thought, there we are. There's the U.S. and England planning, or even the West, having all these strategies. They might be going down the drain. And
I wanted to ask you about Charlie Pants there. Is he really king, or is he rather, like the Metallica song suggests, king nothing? Like, did he really get a crown? Is he really in charge of anything? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the illusion is that he is. The reality is he has nothing. He is subject to everything and everybody. And he's in a really, well, I shouldn't say that. He's in a spot right now that I would not want to be in. Okay. He's just one guy.
Right.
And there's an awful lot of anger that has built up in England. And I'll say this, the English have long been known for their restraint and their proper approach. But they have a whole bunch of new people in England that don't have that heritage. They are from the Middle East, and their attitude is, you treat me right, or I'm going to do something. So King Charles, I think, went through some of the motions. He strikes me as the same thing as Joe Biden. Not really there as king, but he's a figurehead and he's operational, and he happens to look like he's in power. And when you have a whole population of people that are acting as if that's real, it might as well be real.
Consensus reality, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of consensus, there seems to be a consensus in the live chat right now, Penny, that you look absolutely great and phenomenal, and somebody's saying it must be the de-aging process.
Okay. Well,
I have to agree, Penny. You look beautiful.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the lovely comments. Just to bring this up also, for people who might want to follow up here, the video that Penny was talking about here is this one here with Jason Ford and Woo Woo Dude. This was, I believe, let me just check the date.
March or May?
Yeah, 4 weeks ago already. So it's been a while. But this is the one you guys were looking for. And what was interesting, this was, of course, forecasting what's in the news in the last couple of days. And it's this. The mainstream media don't want to admit that they're counteroffensive here with all of this new arsenal that Penny was talking about. Really is a huge disaster. Now, even Zelensky was admitting that he's getting slow process, but he didn't want to go as far as to say that it was a disaster. Now, the big guy in Russia a couple of days ago he was out in the news saying that, no, we quashed it before it even started. So he wasn't worried at all with what was happening. And that seems to be echoing what that dream was about the bear with the F-16 in his mouth and completely swatting its opposition. That's interesting. Do you have an idea, Penny, in the last look-see, if we're getting closer to that moment where they're going to announce an actual victory for Russia here in Ukraine? Are we close to that? Is that more in July? Is that more in August? Where would you situate us in that timeline here for us getting maybe the coup de grace, so to speak, and an ending to this conflict, to the perceived conflict by the aggressor?
I think what I would say is last week, Zelensky called the U.S. and said, hey, we're losing. We can't keep doing this. We need more of everything. We need more money. We need more weapons. We need more artillery. We need more men. We need more everything. And he talked to Mark Milley. And the Pentagon, people at the Pentagon evidently got really angry and nasty with him and told him, you keep going, period. And I don't know, what the rest of the conversation was. But today I was kind of tuning in to Zelensky, and I picked up something I was really shocked about. I think the people at the Pentagon need to be careful, because Zelensky is ready to turn on them, and that would be very messy. So,
we've been picking that up for quite some months here, that perhaps Zelensky was a double agent of sorts, or at the very least would turn code at some point here. So we might be getting closer to that. And when you look at what Macron was out this week also suggesting that France would be the first to be invited to the BRICS. So there seems to be a pivot there to the east, and a bye-bye signal here to NATO, which perhaps, as some researchers are suggesting, they're running out of ammo, so to speak, literally and figuratively.
At every level.
Right. Okay. So that was the update there for the JSNIP 4 video. What was next on the super chat?
There's a couple of different things.
I mean, look-see, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Look-see. I think the whoops. Hang on a second. Yeah, this is June. The next thing that I just wanted to mention was the collapse of the I-95. Expressway right there. I don't know if I'm just becoming cynical or what, but as soon as I heard that, I thought something about that doesn't ring true, doesn't feel right. Why would a guy driving a truck hit the wall at 6:14 a.m. on a Sunday morning when there's no traffic and everybody's still in bed? And why right underneath that particular bridge? That the whole thing just but the bottom line for that collapse is that's a major artery. The symbolism of that being cut, being broken, is enormous in terms of the U.S. The city of brotherly love has had an artery cut, is the symbolism. And I kept looking at that thinking, this is something that does not bode well for us. And then right after that, while I was thinking about what that might indicate, I saw kinds of soldier and military kind of movement happening across the U.S. Massive. And just the other day, this, I don't know what you call it, a squadron or a fleet of planes, was probably only 5 planes, flew right over my farm. And I was outside, the whole ground was shaking. I was like, What is that coming? It didn't sound like a truck, that's for sure. And sure enough, and they were flying from the north directly south. So I think we are moving men and equipment into position. And that brings me to my next thing. Back in April, I saw Trump. Let me see if I can even find that. I had a, let's see. hang on. That Trump was in this position where he was negotiating for all he was worth, something around oil or energy, and it looked like he was president. So I just put that aside back when I saw it and thought, okay, I was looking at the government in terms of what's going to happen to our government or in our government in the next 6 months. This was April, the beginning of April. And that it was that in the next 6 months, something exploded. I wasn't sure if it was the American population or if it was a bomb or if it was the thinking or, resistance to whatever Biden is doing. But then right after that, I saw Trump negotiating for all he was worth in order to help the American people. And I remember thinking, it looks like he's acting as president. How would he be president 6 months from now when Biden is still in for another, I don't know, what has he got? Another year, 2 years, year and a half.
Right.
And so I put that aside, but that has kept coming back. And so a couple of days ago, I kind of thought, okay, why does that keep coming back? What is there more to the message? What am I missing that I'm not getting? And it looked like that's when the piece about I-95 and the military being moved all over the country and the Trump piece kind of came together. And I thought, okay, something's going to happen around either the military taking over or I don't know. It just looked very messy.
And at this point, the look-see, is it forecasting the end of June or sometime in July or maybe August? When do you see this coming together here of the I-95, the Trump thing, the negotiations? When do you see
that? Was like between the end of July and the end of September, maybe even, right in there.
Okay. Julie, can I have you chime in perhaps on some of the astrology too and see where that kind of ties in here with some of the alignments we're dealing with? Do you want me to bring up your deck, Julie, or do you want me to bring up the slides? Which one do you want to
I was going to bring up Donald Trump's chart because I think I'd like to know what Penny thinks about different hypotheses for his chart. So this is Donald Trump's chart, and in the outer circle, we have the astrological transits for now. So I just wanted to point out here that, as you can see, Uranus is about to hit his midheaven. So that's the point here that is at the zenith of your chart, which is very important for your public role, your career. So it puts you in a position of leadership regarding Uranus, because it's the planet that is going to hit his midheaven. And Uranus is all about alternative ways of energy. So that could be some form of free energy. That could also be dealing with the alliance with extraterrestrials. Uranus is symbolizing also off-Earth people, off-Earth politics. And it could also be, Uranus is also a symbol of freedom, of rebellion. So it makes him like a leader in this, let's say, rebellion or movement to decentralize the big government, the big C word, So I had a couple of ideas in mind, but hearing you speak, Penny, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense if he's taking even more of a leadership position with, let's say, the alliance or the people that are leading this, how did you call it, JC? Like not organized, but like a
peaceful non-compliance?
Something collective.
Oh, the SOC, the self-organizing collective.
Yeah. So sort of a way so that people can connect, but without a center. That's what Uranus rules. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And maybe it has to do also with even more of a role with dealing with ETs, with people that are off Earth, that are helping the movement here of liberating the population on Earth with the systems of control. So.
And if you were to spin the wheel a little bit forward here the next couple of months, is there a more precise timing where he would enter that role? Are we already in that orb of influence? Do you
We
see
are because
there?
yeah. So here it's almost at the zenith of his chart, which is 24 degrees, and Uranus is right now at 21 degrees. So it's a big period of time. I would say until the end of the year. This is probably going to be well, even going into next year, because Uranus moves so slowly. So for, I would say, about a year, he has like a very big orb of influence, with Uranus being a leader of the rebellion. And also I wanted to bring up, not with this slide, but sorry, right here, that regarding military presence, as of mid-July, we're going to have the North Node change sign. So the North Node is what we are moving into as a collective, what we are experiencing new, and it manifests as more of on the material level. So the North Node is going to shift from Taurus into the sign of Aries for the next year and a half. So we're going to have more probably military presence. On the downside, that could translate as more conflicts, because Aries can deal with a lot of people trying to defend their own territory or wanting to defend their own values. We could see more people armed. We could see more people, or just, let's say, the bad guys trying to stir up more conflict. Not saying that it's going to work, but the energy will be there, because also at the same time, we're going to have the South Node move into the sign of Libra, and it deals with diplomacy. So we're going to see less diplomacy and more of the military side. But on the good side, it could talk about sort of military transition led by the good people also into the next political system that we're moving into. Wow. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let me bring up the Rumble chat here for a moment. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching us there. Hold on. There you go. At the stream. You guys are freezing on Rumble. That has to do with the Rumble server itself. Right now, the stream appears to be solid here on both of our YouTube channels. So perhaps just refresh the Rumble page, guys, if you're having issues there. But yeah, a lot of growing pains on Rumble. The more people join the system, the more they're also having trouble with the supply-demand of the bandwidth. But anyways, thank you for supporting us there as well. Penny, I wanted to bring up something here. Let me see if I can bring this up. This is in Canada. Breaking news here today. You and I have talked about this a couple of months ago, this new introduction of this Bill C-18 in Canada, ostensibly to protect Canadian copyright content creators. But if you read between the lines, that it very much appears that it was a move to censor content here and limiting access to Canadians to content that comes from outside of Canada. And of course, we were called conspiracy theorists for even suggesting that, because of course the government said, no, this is to protect the poor little artists in Canada. Well, here we have it today. Meta was announcing here, this is through the CBC News, Canadians will no longer have access to news content on Facebook and Instagram. You guys can go and read here how they're going to implement that. And if you see my tweet there, I said, fuck. Somehow I told you so doesn't quite cut it today. No. So we're seeing that. We're seeing the czar of censorship that was appointed by King Charlie Pants last month. And I wanted to ask you, from your looks as well, I can ask Julie after that on the astrology, but do you see another big push here towards censorship, especially if the things that you're seeing now are going to manifest? Clearly, the bad guys are going to try to put the lid on that, so to speak, to maintain control of the narrative. What do you see in the look-see here with respect to censorship?
Actually, that's really a good question. That's one of the things that I was seeing, not just for Canadians. The attempt over the next year to year and a half is going to be to make every island or every nation an island in terms of media. And that it's you know how when kids are growing up and they go out and they do something bad, and so somebody in the family says, I saw so-and-so, and they report what they saw. And the teenager comes home and gets upset because you talked to the neighbor, or you talk to, Aunt Susie or Uncle Joe or whoever. It's that kind of attempt, very teenager-ish attempt to cut off the kind of natural communication that goes on between members of a family. And everybody on the planet belongs to a family called a nation. And here we are. I think we're going to really have to struggle to, I hope we don't. I think we're really going to have to be ingenious in order to be able to maintain communications between various countries.
Okay, we're getting into some difficult subject matter here. So what I'm going to do is give time to the audience members here on both Julie's YouTube channel and my YouTube channel to follow the link now that's in the live chat to continue this conversation uncensored on the Rumble feed. So I'm going to give you guys a minute or two here to switch over, and I'll keep posting that in the live chat. While I do that, Julie, can you bring up the pyramid that is up for grabs tonight that we're giving away to our audience members? What is this pyramid all about here from Carla at Ascension Organites?
Let's hear what Carla has to say.
Hello, everyone. This is Carla from Ascension Organites. I hope you're all doing amazing. Today, I have Archangel Raphael to show you. So seeing as all the love that Archangel Michael received, I was guided to create a collection of different archangels. So more will be coming soon. So Raphael is known as the healer. It is connected to the color green. He helps to bring healing, physical, emotional, etc. So all the crystals that I used here are great for that. They're very intense in energies, but they're great to help with clearing and healing and removing any negativity or toxins in your space. So Raphael is made of citrine crystals, moss agate, which is very powerful, malachite and green aventurine, also has aluminum metals, and the angel wings in silver. I'll give it a quick turn so you guys can see it. And that's Archangel Raphael. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you very, very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Bye.
Thanks, Carla.
Thank you,
I
Carla.
love the green. I love malachite.
I do
and I love
too.
the green.
It's absolutely beautiful. Guys, ascensionorganites.com is the website for Carla. And if you use the coupon code BeyondMystic in one word, you'll get an extra 10% off there as well. And Julie, do we have a green candle, inspired candle tonight also to give away?
We do. We wanted to match the beautiful green pyramid by Carla with a green candle by Elena. So this is the Beyond Mystic element collection. So this is the air candle. And this one is infused with emerald calcite, and it is the air element, and the fragrance is magnolia. Beautiful flower scent, and very much opens up the heart chakra. Those crystals are infused with so much love and healing energies by Elena, and this is a beautiful collection.
Wow, I love it. And Elena is in the chat now. Thank you so much, Elena, for all of your hard work and your beautiful healing meditations on Fridays. You guys can check out Elena tomorrow at noon, I believe. Let me see if I can bring up our poster here for that. And also remind the audience members here to go to my channel here. There you go. Yes, Beyond Harmony tomorrow, June 23rd at noon Eastern. So you don't want to miss that. And also please now join us over here on the Rumble feed. I'll bring this link back in the chat here on YouTube for Julie and Beyond Mystic. And so, okay, so right about now, guys, we're going to disconnect both feeds here on the YouTube channels, and we are going to meet you on the Rumble chats. Let me remove them here one by one.
Jean-Claude, I think you're amazing.
What's that?
I think you're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Doing all that in the background.
Thank you.
He is
Thank you.
very good.
Thank you.